have you here. So, is 10 minutes enough time?
Yeah, well, it's my own fault.
So, okay. So this is Kara from McAfee, and she's going to talk about what kind of presentation they can do on internet safety. One other thing before I turn it over to her, just as a heads up, June 27th and 28th, the State Department, in conjunction with SchoolNet, Discovery Streaming, are putting on an EduStack conference here at Hillcrest High School. And so it should be a pretty good conference if anybody's interested in that. I've got all the details I have so far, but it may be something you want to put on your summer calendar. Great, definitely got it on his summer calendar. So, okay, thanks, Kara.
Hi, my name is Kara Turner. I'm from McAfee. They bought the Nitro Security office out there. If anybody is familiar with them, that's who we are.
If you go out to get Reed's ice cream, it's fairly close.
Yeah, it's right by Reed's ice cream. Yeah, so we smell the cows all the time. It's lovely. And until today, I'm not directionally or districtly challenged, however you would say that, but Google kept sending me in the wrong place
Google's not
like
good
3 times in a row. I know. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Like when we go online, we just kind of trust that it will implicitly send us where we want to go, and that we'll get to our destination, and that we'll be safe on the way. McAfee has, as we know, that's not always the case, especially with students. I have a couple of handouts. I didn't make enough copies. I had no idea how many people would be here. But this is just a basic overview of some of the things that we talk about at the schools. Our outreach program goes to the local schools. We reach out to public education systems and local organizations to educate the students and parents and whoever wants to listen about how to be safe as they go online and some of the dangers that they face. One thing that we hit really hard is Facebook privacy permissions, because people have no idea how much of their information they're just throwing out, and anybody can find it on Google or anything. At the high schools, we talk about Amanda Todd. I don't know if anyone's heard of her. She was a Canadian, and she was 12 years old and liked video chat rooms, and thought this guy was pretty cute, carried on a conversation with him, and somehow he convinced her to flash him. And then he took a screenshot and used that to extort her to do more things. And it got so bad that the whole family had to move because he knew everything about her. And they moved, and a year later those pictures showed up on her Facebook. He found her again, even though she had deleted her account, started a new one, everything. And he kept following her, and then she got bullied at schools. And some of the girls were even punching her in the face and just doing horribly, absolutely awful things. She documented it with a YouTube video, and it's still online today. And it's actually I'm really glad it's there. And tragically, she killed herself. She committed suicide, but she left this legacy to break open the ice and to show everyone exactly what was going on. And she's not the only case where something like this has happened, where some sort of like the sexting activity leads to severe cyberbullying and things like that. And so we have different presentations for the, sorry, I know I'm kind of jumping around, I'm just trying to get the most important information. We have different presentations for the high school and middle school, and we have 2 different age levels for elementary schools. So we probably won't talk about the girl who killed herself to the kindergarten kids. That doesn't seem to be too effective. But yeah, the high school, we hit sexting and cyberbullying hard. I actually spoke with Guy Blissner, the district health, safety, and security advisor or director, and he mentioned to me, he just asked me, can you please get these kids to stop sexting? It is a huge issue in our district. Well, in every district. It's just a new trend, and everyone is doing it, and they have no idea that once a picture is out there, it stays out there forever. Is there anyone who's not familiar with the term sexting? I just thought I'd ask. And hopefully you can put that together, and I don't want to talk about it. So, but yeah, that's what these kids are doing these days, and McAfee has asked us to step out there and show them why it's a really, really, really bad idea. So we have a number of methods of doing that and showing them how much of their information is out there. For one thing, there's a Facebook application called Take This Lollipop. And kids can go to takethislollipop.com and log into their Facebook. And adding this app will show you a really creepy serial killer-like looking guy looking through your Facebook with your status updates and your pictures of your friends. And then he gets in the car after he Googles your city, and then he gets in the car and he has your profile picture taped to his dash, and he's driving down the road, and then you see him get out of the car. And it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. But it works really well for these high school students so that they finally realize how much of their information is public. If anybody wanted to check that out, there are plenty of YouTube videos where students have posted, or anyone has posted their videos online. So you can go check it out, youtube.com, Take This Lollipop. There'll be plenty of examples there. And that worked really well at Hillcrest. We had their student body president come up and do that in front of everybody. And they were scared. They were terrified because they saw their friends up there and this super creepy serial killer guy looking at it and stuff. And it was intense, and they were pretty scared by that, so I'm glad. That's our job, apparently. So another thing we do is we explain the Amanda Todd stories, and we always get a really somber moment at that. But this, of course, is mainly the high schools. Middle schools, we tone that down a little bit, but depending on the school itself, we've been asked still to mention it and bring it up, even if it is a little rough of a subject. But that's what the kids are doing these days. And Amanda Todd, she was 12 when she got involved in all this, and she's not an atypical example. That's just what happens. At the elementary school level, we have a little more, we have a story about a cat who lives in a governor's mansion and accidentally and met some friend of a cat online or something, and goes out to meet this cat in person, but it's actually a big mean dog, and luckily the cat gets saved at the last moment. But that's just an example of one of the things that we do to teach children that their information is not something that they can just throw out there. So there's just a couple statistics on this paper. I just printed something off rather hastily, and I use Linux, so it's printed off weird because it was in open office. But yeah, so it's also a national initiative. President Obama declared October to be the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and most people didn't hear about it, and I didn't until we were asked to take part in this volunteer effort. But there is a whole lot more attention, and especially, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up in the hacker news for this coming year, but there are some really serious things coming down the pipe this year, and it is going to be really intense. And if our children aren't protecting their information, then they're going to be incredibly vulnerable. And I don't really know what else to say about the program.
That's a great presentation. Any questions? For all? So when you've done this, have you done assemblies or have you gone into classrooms? What's been the...
We've done both. When we did it at Hillcrest, what worked best for them was to have an all-school assembly because they have that every month. And so we just did it in the gym. Unfortunately, we did have some audio issues, and some of the kids couldn't hear us, and so they started talking, and so I threw candy at them. But it does. It really does. So, yeah, we were very flexible. We can do small classroom or combined classes or large presentations, whatever. We would just, after our experience at Hillcrest, we would just prefer that we can test the audio equipment thoroughly first. Yeah. Any questions? I left my contact information on the bottom here. The second page. We're still booking all the time. It's an ongoing annual event, and I believe you have an E-rate requirement to teach cybersecurity. I'm not familiar with what exactly the requirement is, but If you would like us to, we'd love to check that box for you. It's just something that McAfee gets passionate about, and I really do. We also have free freebies to give out to the students. We have little notebooks. In high school, it's a picture of a cell phone with a zipper coming down in the image, and what shows behind the zipper is their Facebook, and it says, your stuff is showing. And I mean, at first glance, it seems a little bit obscene, but but it's actually really funny, and it works really well for the high school students, and we've asked the administration before we pass those things out. I don't know, but if anyone has any questions or would like to schedule their school, we're reaching at it from all different angles, and we could really use your help, because sometimes it's just so hard to get those things scheduled. Any questions or bookings or anything, please email me. My address is right there. No, it's not. Okay, my email address is,
I've got it on there.
you have it, yeah, Kara_Turner@McAfee.com. So, any questions or anything, please let me know. I'd love to.
Okay. Thank you, Kara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any last questions for me at all? Okay, next meeting should be March 7th, right? So I'll post out on my big campus for any discussion items, and appreciate everybody showing up. So I did do a signage. I probably do a signage.